Hello and welcome. I'm Vincent Makori, and this is Africa 54. First to West Africa, where suspected Islamic extremists killed more than 30 students Tuesday in northern Nigeria in an attack President Goodluck Jonathan calls heinous, brutal, and mindless. The attack occurred in the middle of the night at a state-run co-educational school in Yobe State. Students and their parents tell VOA that the attackers set fire to dormitories and then killed students with machetes and knives. The militants killed only male students, and no one has of yet claimed responsibility for the attack, but officials blame Boko Haram, which is trying to turn northern Nigeria to a conservative Islamic state. Now, for more insights, we turn to our correspondent in Nigeria, Heather Murdock, who is joining us now via Skype. Heather, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, first, this is an escalation. We've witnessed a number of attacks now for the past 2 or 3 weeks. Can you explain what really you're hearing is happening on the ground?
Well, it seems that the attacks are more frequent and more violent. People across the north are getting more and more angry. After more than 7 months of emergency rule, the attacks seem to be worse than they were before emergency rule began. The government, of course, says that they are, in fact, winning against Boko Haram, and that these attacks, this escalation is due to the fact that they have pushed Boko Haram out of their stronghold. And
yes. At some point, there was a connection with politicians who were claimed to have some links with some of those militant groups. So is this some indication of what's happening before the elections of 2015? Okay.
There is a lot of speculation about who may or may not be connected to Boko Haram, but I do think it is certain that the 2015 elections will be more violent, or potentially more violent, because of Boko Haram. If for no other reason than Boko Haram it incites sectarian violence, which has always surrounded elections, because political parties and religious divides are pretty much the same lines in Nigeria.
I noticed something here that is a bit different. The attackers in this case attacked male students from what we are hearing from the officials. Why male students?
Well, it's not really clear to me. I mean, I do.
Okay.
You know that they have a very harsh version of Islamic law that they adhere to, and I'm not sure why that would not include attacking female students, but perhaps they've also claimed, and we can say pretty surely this isn't true, but they've claimed to be benevolent. Perhaps they were trying to show people that they had sympathy.
Okay, and everybody has to be clear that actually, in the case of this school, it's not an exclusively Christian school, isn't it? It's a kind of a mixed school.
Yes, it was a mixed school, a co-ed school that taught not only Quranic education, but also Western education, preparing kids for college. Yeah.
So what is being done by the government now that the militants seem to be kind of increasing the attacks? What is the counter action here from the government lately? Okay. It looks like we're experiencing a lot of audio problems there with Heather. Heather, we'll probably come to you in the coming days to give us some more updates. That's Heather Murdock of VOA reporting live via Skype from Abuja in Nigeria. Now, from the volatile oil-producing Niger Delta to northern forests, where insurgents terrorize villages, Nigerians blame corruption for many of their wars, but it appears no one knows how to stop it. Last week, Nigeria's central bank's chief became the latest high-ranking official to lose his office after exposing corruption among the country's elite. Again, here's Heather Murdock.
About half of all Nigerians have no access to electricity. No one, not even in this posh Abuja neighborhood, has power all day long without a generator. At the University of Abuja, the power is off on Monday. Political science lecturer Abubakar Umar Kari blames corruption for the electrical woes, among other problems.
As far as we are concerned, corruption is the biggest industry in Nigeria. The Nigerian elite have perfected the art of not only perpetrating corruption, but ensuring that they use the instrumentality of corruption as a statecraft.
Early this month, Central Bank Governor Lamido Sanusi said Nigeria's national oil company has not accounted for $20 billion. He was suspended and is under investigation. Kari says others have exposed large-scale corruption in Nigeria, like Nuhu Rabadu, a former anti-corruption chief who accused officials of stealing $380 billion. And more recently, Nigerian legislator Farouk Lawan, who spearheaded a report about a $6.8 billion fuel subsidy scam. Both Rabadu and Lawan were ousted and accused of taking bribes. Kari says when corruption is attacked in Nigeria, it fights back.
They have fought others who have threatened them before, and I believe they will continue to attempt to threaten whoever tries to ask questions or constitute himself or themselves into an opposition to the corruption industry. So it is corruption that is fighting back.
Kari says corruption is at least partly to blame for widespread poverty in Nigeria, as well as an insurgency in the north and instability in the oil-rich Niger Delta. Abuja-based political consultant Fabian Ehikwe says corruption may be at the heart of many Nigerian problems. But he says Sanusi was removed because he was damaging Nigeria's economy and spending state money recklessly.
When the chairman or governor of a central bank of any nation speaks, it is purely on policy. It can jeopardize the economy in the sense it can render investor confidence weak. Both the foreign and national investors can be chased away.
On Monday night, President Goodluck Jonathan denied allegations that Sanusi's suspension was politically timed. But some analysts say a year before what may be Nigeria's first truly contested election, every move Nigerian politicians make is about pleasing voters. Heather Murdock for VOA News, Abuja.